Like, keep that same energy. Speaking of energy, what's up, N citizens? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
안녕, 로입니다. Keith.
I'm Zach.
I'm Mary Jane Uzumaki.
And I'm Curtis.
You know the vibes. Y'all seen the picture. Y'all seen the thumbnail. Y'all know why y'all here. NCT, Candy.
NCT DREAM.
NCT DREAM, Candy. Most popular unit.
You see where we go?
You started. Yeah, then I gave them they due respect and shit. The number one selling NCT unit.
Now I'm mentally checked out. Now I'm mentally checked
Yo, that is a way to get him checked out early in the video. Now as soon as this shit come on, he be like... It's like, no, I already know you're not going to like this.
That's hilarious.
Oh, we must be giving out free candy with all these drops that we got. You guys might as well hit the subscribe button and become a real redeemer today. Also, the Patreon is like Candyland on there with all them gems we've been dropping.
It's not a good game to compare us to.
When Candy Crush or something?
We're a way better game than Candyland.
Candyland is a classic.
That's funny. Both y'all usually went to the classic.
McDonald's is a classic, but it's bad for you. There goes our sponsorship.
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Like, y'all niggas eat Papa John.
Hey, I ain't never eaten. You know what I mean?
He was like, you don't even know what gluten is.
Somebody be like, look, I seen you at that one Korean barbecue spot.
Yeah.
They
probably see me there again.
You shouldn't eat gluten.
Yeah. See me there again, motherfucker. Gluten.
Make sure you guys jump on the Patreon. It's exclusive NCT content up there, uncuts, dance practices. We getting back into some exclusive choreos for them, some live performances, all that good stuff. This NCT Dream Candy comeback shit. Can't wait to see what this is about. Let's jump into this. Hanchan.
It's like Wolf Black Panther.
Didn't expect the 90s feel.
Oh, it's giving like Spice Girls. A little bit. You know what I'm saying? That.
Damn.
Mark!
This bubblegum shit with some savage kind of lyric.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really want.
Look over the shot like. Wait, is that Hanchan kind of rap singing? Renji. shy. Like, oh yeah. Respect your parents and do the dishes. Help your parents with your school supplies. Make sure you guys subscribe before chaos strikes. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna cap. Like, I kind of fuck with this a little bit.
You fuck with the savagery of it, but I don't know if you fuck with the
the bars is actually a little more aggressive, like way more aggressive than kind of the beat is and shit. But there's something about the beat that kind of sounds like.
I said literally was like, tell me what you want, what I really want. I'll tell you what I want.
Someone did say
like,
Spice Girls as soon as it came out.
Pay attention to me.
I'm so sorry. I give you credit. So I really love NCT Dream. I love NCT in general. The thing that confused me sometimes is that I understand the concept of Aegyo, I understand their demo, and I understand why they are very popular in SK when they do like, you know, the boy crush / kind of like bubblegum music. It just throws me off because they can go from being like super sexy and kind of grown on you songs, or Mark and Henshine when they on like 127, but when they come back here, it gets so like kind of like, you know,
15.
fur hats, like, and like, yay, silent yay, yay.
Pastel colors.
16 years old.
And it's like, I get it, because like if I'm never gonna tell somebody to change something that's working, and it clearly like works for them, because since I've got back into K-pop in like 2019 and 2020, they've been top 5 selling with everybody, with every group.
In SK.
In SK.
It's a little different.
Well, I mean, even if you want to play like that card, they still sell like internationally. They still sell out, like, you know, when they do their tours and everything like that. They're not hurting for nothing. Let me phrase it like that. Like, it ain't like they're hurting for anything. So clearly, like, whatever they have going on works for them at their home base, and they can do stuff internationally.
Well, the demographic over there loves the cutesy.
Yeah, that's why I stayed
there. Basically, like, obsessed with this kind of stuff, which is why the thing with idol music is the youth. What they say about hip hop is really 10 times more true in K-pop.
I get it.
With the youth movement and everything, the younger stuff is always going to be more popular and everything like that than like a lot of older stuff. There were pretty much no 3rd gen groups at like at the awards ceremonies and shit like that this year, like in mass, or, you know, definitely not the biggest group. So, you know, the youth and this kind of stuff is always going to go.
My comment wasn't based off none of that though.
Yeah,
like, because we have this conversation, paraphrase the same conversation again. But the conversation that well, at least where I was leading into was that just like, I know all that already. It's very confusing on why they keep on having these young men be grown at times and then just reverted completely back here.
That's literally what I just said. That's why.
And I'm saying, like, I'm saying I understand the whole concept, so I didn't need it explained again, because like I understand the concept. It's just I just
rhetorical.
Yeah, it was more of a rhetorical question for them, honestly. But yeah, now I want to hear y'all opinion. I'm sorry.
This song was cool and cute. It probably was just a little too cute for me. I did pay attention to other aspects of the video since I wasn't a huge fan, like, you know, just obviously how it was shot, how they were dressed and they were swagged out, honestly. I loved, I just love, like, how can I explain? You know how you were saying the lyrics were not really, like, matching? Well, I wouldn't say not matching. Is that what you were saying? Like, really wasn't matching? I
said they were a bit aggressive for where, like, the tone of the song is, as far as, like, how light the song is as far as a production standpoint goes.
Sometimes I do like that.
Yeah, the juxtapose of, like...
Yeah. But, yeah, so those were the things that just stood out, besides the locations. Like, it was cute. Like, I can't take nothing away from how it looks visually. Just the cuteness just killed it for me.
Well, you're a grown woman. Not to cut you off, I kind of wanted to ask your perspective, like, as a woman, Like, just where would you be at with this though? Like, if you've seen a video, is it gonna be like, oh, these dudes are attractive, like I want to hear more, or is it just like they too cute, I can't cuff them?
And that's because my thing is that I've seen them when they look grown and sexy and everything like that. So watching this, it just felt like, you know what I mean? Like, just I felt like they were 15 to 16 years old, while watching this.
Which I'm pretty sure, like this, and that's what Lo was alluding to. Like, that's what they want to portray. Like, is they're like that young to.
I don't think you should keep going back and forth like that though. Like, and I know that kind of happens when it's like the girls. Like, sometimes they'll be extra sexy and then they'll be like young. I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't know if you can kind of find it like right in between, depending on how age you are, if that makes sense. It throws me off a little bit, just a little bit. Is that bad or something? Like,
No. I just did. And that's why I
agree
wasn't.
with you wholeheartedly.
I wasn't trying to be smart. That's why, like, I wasn't even trying to like cut Lil. I wanted to get a different approach of the conversation, and I have the exact same convo, but to question and circle it a little bit different, so we can get a little bit different engaged.
Right.
But yeah, you cool. Hello, my friend.
Yeah. So what this is looking like? It's a remake of H.O.T's Candy, which would explain the late '90s pop sound, definitely that Spice Girls sound, and like the colors and everything like that. So, you know, I already see where this is going, because SM is very like notorious for having their current artists remake a song that they've done before. So now, just to be honest and everything like that, I don't think it's any surprise that I'm like Dream is probably the NCT subunit that I'm least, into and everything like that. This is really not my demographic whatsoever. I love Mark and Hyuk though, of course, but it's just the cutesy stuff. And it's not even just NCT. It's really any group. When they start to do a little bit too much of this cutesy shit, I check out mentally, just because I'm not there anymore. I'm trying to think of the most cutesy K-pop song I have downloaded, and it might be Dynamite, to be honest. That literally might be the most cutesy type of song that I have downloaded in as far as K-pop and everything. And that was musically and sonically, that's different, because as soon as you hear them opening chords on it, and then once the bass comes in, it's a rap.
Yeah, I was about to say, at least the production on there is grown.
Yeah, it's very groovy and funky at the end of the day. So I'm not a hater. Like I said, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna do this because I be seeing on like K-pop Reddit, people hate. You say something about Mark and being in Dream or whatever like that. They take that shit to heart. But yeah, man.
You didn't cry at the graduation.
Listen, man, I get it, and that seems to be the excuse for a lot of stuff in K-pop.
Yeah, like you weren't there at the graduation.
Something emotional happened, and people have an emotional tie to it, so they can't, objectively hear anyone be like, "I'm not into that," or "I don't think."
People said the shit was heartbreaking, like watching it and everything, like with the graduation process.
So it originally was a graduation process for this group. This was only supposed to be for younger members, and then when you turn a certain age, you graduate out and move to another unit,
like JV varsity.
Mark, Mark, who is the face of NCT, basically, he was about to graduate out of there, and the members was like losing their shit and started crying and stuff at the graduation ceremony. So then the SM, for all the shit y'all talk about them, because they didn't have to be like, yo.
They went in and listened to the fans.
They said, you know what? Nah, we not going to do this. We're going to let him stay a part of this unit. And so him and Haechan both stayed a part of NCT Dream as opposed to graduating out. And so now
what are the ages of all them in this particular
Mark
group?
is 23, I think.
What's the youngest in this group?
19.
Is that Jamin?
I don't know whether it's Jamin or Renjun, who's the Maknae of Dream. But they still particularly kind of like young group. Mm-hmm. But if I show you other videos, you've seen them on other U videos on some like this.
And that's why this did catch me off guard, because I know who Mark is. I really was a big fan of him and other things. And this surprised me just of how I was about to ask, what year did this come out?
It's brand new. It's like
this came out yesterday.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, like
Because mind you, Renjun, he just wrecked us when we was rewatching Let's Play Ball and everything, and it's just like they look so much older on there.
No, the youngest member is actually Jisung. He's 20.
Jisung. Okay.
Yes, I thought you was literally probably about to say like maybe 17, 16. Then I'm like, oh, okay, that explains it. Try to, have a song in there for, that. But
and two things too. What I will say before, like y'all jumping to y'all points is, I think maybe also to be fair, they might know it's only a window for 2 more years of this, maybe. Where it's just like, all right, like the youngest member is gonna be 22 at some point. The only other thing is either create another unit and have 16-year-olds like, in that unit and kind of redo that, and then, kind of have them a bit more mature. And another thing too is I don't never want this to leave from K-pop, like never. Like, because, and the reason being is like, I'm no gatekeeper. I'm no person that should tell people what you should do as far as music goes. This seems to be something that's a staple in like their music culture. And I would hate for someone to like, listen to rap or listen to R&B and just be like, well, I don't think y'all should do this anymore.
They do.
Yeah, and then we crucify.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like I said, this just isn't my demo.
Yeah, and I'm not. And I'm not saying you were saying.
No,
that
I know
either.
you did.
Yeah.
I'm saying like to them. I'm not saying you guys should change anything or whatever. It's just not my demo, so I let it be.
Oh, I don't think that they should stop doing this in K-pop. I was just more so saying like when you reach a certain age, can you graduate from doing that type of music? You know what I'm saying? But no, I don't think this should ever stop.
And then I know stuff is hard too because even with just SM alone, we was talking about the With You thing, and Taemin and all them Beck all older. They still on stage running around like kids. They still got cutesy stuff. Not obviously, is cutesy as this, but they still act a certain way. And like you were about to allude to earlier, it is something about SK that is just very youthful in itself. So even when someone's 30 years old, sometimes they still play like they 19 or 18. And even, vice versa, we got Gen 1 people still running around doing stuff like,
so funny.
Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, even people like that. So it's I get some of it. I do want to have a conversation about that on its own video about certain stuff, and that's why I was kind of trying to lead the conversation into a different way.
My last part I just want to say is I actually do like a couple Dream songs. I like "Don't Need Your Love" with Harvey. I like
you fuck with that? Man?
Yeah. Teddy Bear, and then I think it's Candlelight or
I'm
Candle,
sorry,
something like
guys.
that.
It's okay.
So like there are a few songs I like from them.
You like "Don't Need Your Love"? That's my shit.
You feel seen?
No.
Same.
He said, I'm not seen in the real world, so I try my best to be seen up here.
I need an intervention.
I need an intervention, but I can't afford a therapist.
I can't remember.
Sorry, y'all didn't get a chance to talk. That was a lot. My fault.
Honestly, once the song came on, I really wasn't feeling it. To be honest, the production really wasn't for me. I don't know what it was about the beat. It just kind of like turned me away from it. But that didn't take away from the video. I did pay attention to the video. Shot very well. I like the Christmas aspect as well. The Louis scarf is crazy. That joint is actually clean, and I want that for the wintertime. The Chanel joint, the hats, fire.
They said, don't get it fucked up. The money here is still.
Yeah, they got the budget, you know what I'm saying? They got everything.
That varsity jacket.
Yeah, they said we still spending debut money. The money, we spending chewing gum money. Money here.
He said chewing gum.
Yeah, debut shit.
I like the video, though. I do like the video on their outfits, but sorry, production wasn't for me.
Could y'all get away with some of the furry hat Jones or some of the big hats? Is it a look?
Yeah. Not for everybody, but yeah.
So, I mean, we watched Shutdown earlier today, right?
Mm-hmm. And they had the same.
Don't you think Jenny looked good in that oversized furry hat?
Fine as fuck.
Right. So, I mean, the look fits. It's just a matter of what accompanies the look.
Yeah, if you can get that shit off, get that shit off.
I love that jacket.
Yippee shit going on, then it might not fit the look because the aesthetic that you're attaching it to might not be in your demo.
Zach, young boys young boys in here be having them shits. You know how young boys be having the hats like here with the pointing joints and the spikes up front and everything.
That's like Eskimo hats.
Yeah, so it's K-pop sometimes is an aesthetic for some people as well. Like obviously and stuff. After you got into K-pop, you started going to the barbecue joints and stuff like that, right?
Like the restaurant?
Yeah, like for the restaurants and stuff like
I
that.
was going to
Would you feel comfortable decking your crib out with certain aesthetics and shit as far as like some K-pop stuff?
Like what?
almost like how RM stuff was set up and stuff.
If anything, this is the thing with me in the whole everything stems from the music. So it would only be the music that would like.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna gravitate to nobody that's in their music bullshit. Like, yeah, because I know you're not.
Well, no, I'm just saying like that would be the only thing I could see me like putting up like some of my alts. So it would either be Dreamcatcher, BTS, Big Bang, or 127.
Would you do like vinyls or have shit up like for collection, like
Stuff
just
like that,
some shit
hell
like
yeah.
that? Yeah, so it's sometimes all I have to say, sometimes I do get that it's a look, so I can see people almost how when we went to the concert and shit, and people had like the inspired looks that people might watch some of this and just be like, I'm gonna cop the lay too and shit. And I'm gonna
the next concert we go, the next BTS concert we go to in a few years, I'm gonna be wearing an ascot.
I fuck with you.
A purple ascot and a blue blazer. And a U-neck.
You can have your shoulder out sometimes.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hit that movie. They're like, wait a minute.
That guy looks familiar.
Or I could dye my hair mint green.
You showing up. How y'all feel?
Not a fan of the song. I did like the lyrics. The lyrics was kind of savage, even though it was only to accent the point that despite how I don't feel for you anymore, I can't tell you I don't feel for you, which is it was kind of like a hard left to make a soft right. Basically, like I don't want to be with you. I'm going to break up with you. I'm leaving you, but as soon as I see you, baby, you know I love you, and we're never going to be apart. It was kind of like you backing off your point, and it kind of doubled down on the cutesy crap. Cutesy sound, and it was just kind of I don't know. It wasn't for me. I understand, like you. I understand the need for music like this. I get it. Like they're the biggest.
Would your daughter like this?
Yeah, I'm sure she would. Because she likes Twice and stuff like this too. And she likes a lot of Itzy's very cutesy type songs as well. But she also, I don't know, but I guess that's neither here nor there. She does like stuff like this. So I could definitely see this probably being in her demo, but it's definitely not in mine. The video was cool. I like some of the backdrops. I don't know, the simplicity of the yellow backdrop I kind of fucks with. I definitely like the Sears catalog setup that they got with the Christmas tree and the warm color sofa, and you know what I mean, the textures of browns, and it looks like what you would see on the Wish book. For those that know, you might not be old enough. On the cover of the Wish book from Sears that you would get every year, you know about those joints, bruh. It's like Christmas before Christmas.
Grandma got them.
Amazing.
That's trucks here.
So was this video like a big oxymoron?
I think it was like it might have been a love letter to the original, because like I don't know much, but I know like when this video goes off, the thumbnail for the original comes on, and they're dressed in like bright colors too.
No, like with the original, they literally, as soon as Lo said that, like they literally have the same aesthetic and everything. Those big hats. Remember in the original, they had them fucking. You thought they were mittens.
Oh, that was them, bro. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's why as soon as Lo said that shit, I'm just like, you know what? You they might have just been super cheesy just to do a love letter to the original, because this is literally the aesthetic of the original.
So much, because we saw him on that K-pop video, and I'm like, why they got mittens on, man? Mac Mittens and the crew. No, but yeah, that makes sense. And they had the big oversized hats, the trapper hats.
I feel like if you know that going in, maybe your perception might, well, not so much of the song. It's just you're gonna feel
because the song is
the track.
Right.
But I'm talking about you'll understand the video a little bit more, I think, if you went in like that. And I really didn't think of thanks, Lo. I didn't think about that until you said something about it.
That's cool. Yeah. We all play parts here.
Don't like the song.
No, I agree. Definitely added context with everything, of course, and I always try to take that with a grain of salt, of course, because I don't know if these are on particular albums or kind of how track list things, like kind of the sequence in which they kind of go about telling these stories. That being said, the track personally wasn't for me as far as the demographic and everything like that. Like, I know it's a much more cutesy type vibe, and of course, nothing wrong with anything like that. Knowing that it was from a different song and everything, though, was definitely something I didn't know or didn't realize. So I'm sure they paid like quite a lot of homages, as you had said, you know, the wardrobe and I'm sure the set design and everything. I did like all the set design aspects of it. I loved how they incorporated the Christmas feel of everything. Yep. They even actually tied some of the Christmas aspects into the love story that they were telling in the lyrics, which I liked. You know, as Keith had said, going from basically the, you know, I'm trying to break it off with this person until you get to the end and you're kind of like, you stand face to face with them and everything that you had prepared and thought about of what you're going to say to them, you just completely blank on it. And then you end up essentially just falling back into the I love you aspect of it. So I did like kind of how they subverted that within the lyrics. And if that's something that's in the original or how that's told in the original, I definitely appreciate that nonetheless. I thought their vocals were really great on it in the sections that they had. I did think it juxtaposed a little bit too much for me between some of the rap parts. And what I mean by that is because sometimes they had some of the 90s beats aspects of it where it felt like it was getting into strictly like rap kind of pocket, only to kind of switch and get into, you know, more of the traditional, I guess, pop elements, I would say. Yeah. And nothing wrong with that, of course. It just, I was kind of waiting for it to kind of connect and mesh. And usually that kind of happens more so towards the bridge for me, but it didn't quite, you know, get there for me, at least on the first listen. I mean, maybe it will in subsequent listens. But I did like how they also tied in the aspect of the Christmas thing with the lyrics, and that being they had like a little kid literally waking up on Christmas. So I felt like they were kind of tying in some of that love aspects to the kid, like waking up like a kid on Christmas morning. So I thought if nonetheless that was what they intended, I did enjoy that. And even some of the aspects where they had like the one member hugging the teddy bear or whatever, which made me think of the song Teddy Bear, but obviously like I'm going to be that person that's there for you and everything like that. So, but it also added a little bit of I felt like deeper kind of punch to the lyrics, because if you're talking about having to leave someone, then the teddy bear aspect of it is kind of like, oh, that was the person you know, it allowed for a little bit more emotional investment in the losing of that person, perhaps, if that was what they indeed intended. But I did like that. Weirdly enough, I did also notice in their production, like in beatbox, how they start off with the 90s kind of beat sound. The hip hop traditional kind of, you know.
It definitely threw me off at first.
Yeah. So that's immediately kind of what I was thinking of. So then when it switched up, I was like, is this more common for them, or is this a trademark of sorts that they like to incorporate? And whether it is or isn't, nonetheless, I'm just curious as to why they incorporate some of those things. I mean, maybe we get those in uncuts or, you know, other behind the scenes things. But I did think it was like, it's unique, and I don't know if it's something that's specifically like a choice for them as far as, you know, branding purposes or anything like that. But I do like the beat selections that they come up with. I just kind of wish they, you know, actually like wrote out some of those beats. But I did like Mark's verses as well, and I forget who went after Mark on the first verse, but that part I did really like as well. I'm not exactly sure who was on that part though. But yeah, all in all, I mean, it was a solid track. There was like lots of elements of it that were great. It just as a whole didn't kind of come together for me.
Yeah, anybody else say anything with that? Yeah, jump in the comments. Tell us how y'all felt about this. I know we always want to keep it honest and respectful up here, but I definitely want to hear like y'all feedback on everything, because we got a lot of like NCT fans like in general. How y'all feel about like the cutesy vibe when it comes to like, you know, like K groups, and then them switching and kind of being a bit more sexy when it fits the theme, or if y'all just like when it's cutesy in general, just let us know that. I'd like some more information on this. Subscribe, jump on the Patreon. There's gonna be some more NCT stuff up there today. Love y'all. Gonna holler at y'all.
Love y'all. Take care.
Peace.